We have here a reading with a lot of red and some black today. It was at first the first painting, and then the part 2 was meant to be answering a specific love reading, but it turned into like this more in-depth and comprehensive reading with a little bit more of the spirit messages coming through about more comprehensive situation. So at first, as I'm adding all these specks of love represented by the red color, it was starting to looking like a sacred heart, as you can see there. And then I outlined the heart right there as I'm doing there. So it looks like a sacred heart. And so that gave me a really good feeling and positive feeling about the relationship. I started then outlining the sacred heart, and then I started adding the outside influences on the relationship, maybe people in their lives, or just the external circumstance, as it often encroaches on special relationships. So I started adding some of these pebbles of black. It was like a grayish, black, silverish, really pretty color. And I started kind of encroaching and closing on the heart. And then the heart actually started looking more like a skull. And it started being interesting because it was more like about a rebirth and death of the ego is what I was getting. And then a person I was reading this for, she went through a couple of events that were health events where it was very life and death. And what I was getting from this was that the true unconditional love for yourself, for herself, for ourselves as a collective could be learned from that experience. So these negative almost like influences of the health emergency that were so dire actually turned into like a full transformation into that Christ heart, like for yourself, like that true love and self-appreciation, where you're not gonna sell yourself out for anything anymore. You're always gonna stand by yourself. And then I saw these mirrors in the skull as well, like reflecting back, like any kind of negativity you will not accept any kind of words that would any negative clouds or any negative judgment. And definitely the white and the red is the Christ colors, and so it has to do with Ten of Swords and cutting off any kind of negative influences on our lives and letting go of that doesn't serve us anymore. So when that happens, there's this lightness of a being where you can really enjoy your own self. And it also kind of gave me a feeling of forgiveness and recapitulation, sort of like going through all these things that we went through and remembering what we've learned through them all, and just kind of saying, wow, I did such a good job. I forgave them and I moved on. Which in the part 2 of a painting, here I think I'm doing the mirror eyes, but yeah, there were mirror eyes inside of the red skull, which was really well formed, and I outlined it with a red pen. So I also wanted a little bit more clarification. So what I wanted to do is I did a follow-up painting that I'm going to show you in a minute. because I wanted more clarification. It seemed to me that this reading was all about rebirth and ego death and raising up through love, through that circumstance that was negative, but instead that we raised our spirits and the spirits lifted us through forgiveness to the outside circumstances, and that could be family members, and forgiving them, and then be able to love yourself through it all, and not really getting trapped again into some sort of other relationship that wouldn't be serving the best and the highest. So here is the follow-up painting. I think it's somehow cut off as I'm seeing it here. So I'm going to wait if it clears up a little bit. But in the second painting, I saw the Jesus right there with his hand raised, like as if in protection, creating like almost like the Hermit card, like holding a lantern right there, if you can see that. Jesus has a beard. Right next to him, walks with him. At the end of the painting, I saw the devil as well, and there were like owls underneath the devil, and there were a big wing of it, also like flying owl, and there was this wolf. I don't know if it was dog, but it looked more like a wolf that was barking or growling at this figure, which was like the samurai, like with a shield. And then this tiny little girl was also, I don't know if she was reaching out or pointing at him. So don't know if that represents my friend, but there was also a cat spirit protecting the little girl. So it felt like the painting showed Jesus with his hand outstretched protecting the little girl, and then there were the outside circumstances encroaching like the black samurai. So there was things to watch out from. On the bottom of the painting, there was like a magician, and he had like all these treasures and all these tools to make his magic. And he looked like he can do anything and everything and bring everything down from like the pulling the moon from the skies for us. But then as the colors kept blending, his tongue stuck out as if engraved, as if nothing was really enough, and he wanted more and more and more and more. So for that, I don't know if the skies looked like kind of like cloudy because of that, or if the cloudy sky was there, to begin with. In the cloudy sky, there were like 3 spirits, maybe 3 children. They all have orbs, and then tiny little orb as well. And the girl that in question, that was reaching out, pointing to the black samurai, she had that orb next to her as well. And so my feeling was feelings of protection of that inner delight, and protecting ourselves from basically any outside influences that are not for our best or highest. And the Christ reminding us that don't give your power away. The angry wolf actually within you like reminds you that all the time. So you have like, or this collective also has like this power to like really speak up for oneself in like sometimes a scary way, but that power, that spirit wolf energy in you is the one that barks at people or at the black samurai, and not letting it to encroach any closer, and to keep that negativity away. So that is how, and the cat spirits were everywhere too, in the silver, like everywhere protecting as well. So the recapitulation as well, forgiveness, and not trading our power away, like maybe to the magician. Just don't get trapped is maybe the message. And with that, I hope that you like and leave me a comment. I appreciate if you leave any confirmation for me so that I could know that it resonated. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.